Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Mortgage Matters in Minutes. Again, I'm your host, Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialists. With over 25 years of experience, we love bringing these market updates of what we see currently happening in the spring of 2026. So as this video is getting released, you might come back later on in time, but we want to continue to keep focusing each quarter on what's happening for our clients. And the reason why we're reporting on this is because we see this happen, and we've been having these conversations with clients every day on what's occurring and what's happening. These last few weekends, we've had 3 to 6 clients putting in offers on houses, some getting accepted, some not. So we are seeing the spring market yet again, seeing competitive offers, bidding over asking price, buyers making a decision very quickly, multiple offers of all different sources, especially in that, call it $200,000 to $400,000, $450,000 price range. The lower the price range, the more the competition is, and always has been, because there's only so many of those houses available, and there's more people that want affordable houses than the $500,000, $600,000, $800,000, $900,000 homes as well too. So we're seeing back to what we normally see. Maybe it's not as aggressive as obviously it was during the COVID times, but if you're not familiar with the spring market, it brings out the most competition. There's more houses for sale, but there's more buyers that are wanting to make a decision of purchasing a home, upgrading homes, and that's just always seasonably. Because if we go back to starting our lives living in our first home, it's usually shortly after we graduated from high school or college. And that's usually around that May, June timeframe. So in order to find a house, you need to start here February, March, April in order to close May, June, July. So we're seeing with obviously one of the biggest things I see is people have continued to wait around for something to change. Not a lot has changed, but interest rates have come down. So if you are a first-time home buyer still thinking the market is soft, it's not in that first-time home buyer price range. It's not sellers giving up price or giving you concessions, things of that nature. Can it be in a certain house? Yes, it always can be. Or a certain price range? Sure. But across the general board, what I'm talking today about is that, first-time home, second home, possibly, those two price ranges for individuals are still very competitive. As we chatted about, interest rates have come down significantly since last year. Generally, we don't love to throw out interest rates because they're different for every person, but in the lower sixes, possibly upper 5% ranges is much better than lower sevens, mid 7 interest rates that we saw most of last year in 2025. I think a lot of people have sat by the sidelines waiting for something to change. Nothing massively has changed in their life, and they still need to be living somewhere or purchasing a home. So with lower rates, floods back into the market as well. Investors we've seen come back into the market competitively as well. But as we see, affordability didn't kill real estate. It paused it for a little bit of time, but as rates are going to continue to come down, we're going to see more activity among people fighting over the few houses that are for sale. One of the main things I wanted to talk about today too is with this competitive market comes the seller's decision on picking your offer over someone else's. And we see this nearly every offer that goes into place. Do we like it? Not necessarily, but we want to inform you and educate you that the seller does care about who your lender is. The seller does care what type of loan you take out, how much you're putting down, how strong does your pre-approval look, and is that lender local or is it some online, out of town, out of state lender that there's no one here in the local community to speak with? I know people don't like that as an answer, but I can share with you the individuals that I am working with that have put in types of loans that aren't as aggressive as other types of financing generally are not getting their offer accepted. Also, people that aren't bidding as high as they possibly can also are not getting their offers accepted. So this experience is coming from real life, not made up, not national real estate news, but local information here in Omaha, Nebraska. So what I always chat with clients is when you're putting in offers on homes, generally it's going to come to the seller liking cash first as an offer, conventional loans second as an offer, FHA, and then VA loans. FHA and VA can switch back and forth, but then we have our grant monies and our NIFA loans and our different finance authority situations. And again, there are more risk with those type of loans. We don't like it, but there can be, or there is a major perception of risk. If that person is putting less down, there's a greater chance of that person not becoming approved because they don't have access to other funds. So what we work to educate our clients on is, let's talk about all the lending options and what's all out there, whether you have a contingency or you don't have a contingency. Contingencies also make a difference. So let's look at removing that contingency in regards to the lending standards, meaning I want to buy your house, but my house hasn't sold yet. We're still seeing sellers at certain situations not like that, but a more expensive home might not be selling as quickly now. They might be open to that. But if it's a house that's $300,000 or less, most people are getting offers that don't have contingencies. So we want to consider how that impacts. I know a lot of our clients mention to us, well, my realtor hasn't talked to me about this, or I haven't put an offer in yet. And I would say, I understand that, but when you're ready to put that offer in, all these questions are going to come at you. And if you're not prepared for how to structure that offer, you are a little behind. And I've seen many clients have to kind of learn their lesson for 3 or 4 or 5 offers before they understand, here's what we have to do to get this particular house. We've seen this market for 10 to 15 years now, and not much is changing it. As rates come back and get more aggressive, the market moves very quickly. But having the right lender, the right loan, and the right pre-approval letter written out that income, assets, identification, credit, all has been verified, that is a much stronger pre-approval than someone just said, hey, we pulled our credit, we didn't do anything else. And that's a big, huge deal. I can share with you, because when individuals are getting one offer, they can make an easy decision. But if they're getting 5 different offers and everybody is offering pretty much the close same price, they have to look at other variables to try to narrow that down. And here at Mortgage Specialists, when we do a pre-approval, we do always verify income, assets, credit, anything that affects the underwriting and lending situation of that loan, we're going to review prior to giving a pre-approval out, because we don't want, things to come up out of the blue later, things that change are out of our control. But if we know about them in advance, we want to review to make sure everything meets the rules. So again, if you're if you're in the market right now for real estate, this is not a scare video. We're not here to scare you into doing anything. I am just here, and we are here at Mortgage Specialists to educate and let you know what's going on. If I was interested in the market, I would want someone like myself telling me, here's what's going on, with an experienced loan officer, experienced real estate agent, working together to give you what is occurring with the market versus, hey, I'm putting in all these offers and I can't seem to buy or get a house under contract, which I can share with you. We see clients in that boat. And maybe they're not very serious about buying a house. That's fine. But I also have seen many clients that are very serious that might not be just doing those extra couple items to obtain that property. I'm Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists. Call me at any time, 402-991-5153. Check us out on our website, mtg-specialist.com. And you can always obviously Google Mortgage Specialist to find out more information about us. As we recently passed 530 5-star Google reviews, we are here local in the Omaha area to show the community that not only do we work here, we play here, we support the Omaha area with our education, with our knowledge, and love to work with anybody that has any questions in regards to lending and financing. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.